We are now in Paincourtville along Bayou Lafourche, and this is believed to be where the largest contingent of Acadians would settle after getting forcibly removed from their homeland. They would arrive in New Orleans, with the last ship docking in 1785. The vast majority of this group would settle below what is now Donaldsonville, near a place called Valenzuela that was populated mostly by Islanos people from the Canary Islands. The legend of Paincourtville goes a little something like this. A long time ago, there was a lonely traveler who was growing ever more hungry. He passed this location and was unable to find even a single loaf of bread. So as a joke, he referred to it as Short of Bread Town, which translates in French to Paincourtville. Paincourtville. The name stuck and Paincourtville was born. On a plot donated by Elizabeth Dugas, St. Elizabeth's Church was built in 1840. Parishioners promptly rebuilt the church after a fire in 1854, but in 1903, a third structure, still in use, was completed. Nearby, on a special steel scaffolding, is the church bell brought in from France, but apparently it's too large for either of the church's two towers. Plantations would soon start to sprout up around Paincourtville on both sides of the bayou. Some of these town names still carry the name of the plantation, even though all buildings associated with the property are derelict or completely gone, actually. Now, some are still around as of this recording. You could even see the names on Google Maps. One of these examples is the small community of Westfield. It sits further back from the bayou behind Paincourtville. It's little more of an industrial area, but it was once a thriving sugar plantation. The only thing left now is the sugar mill and a few auxiliary buildings. Also, farmer slave cabins can be seen in the area. One of the plantations that no longer exists was called the Armalise Plantation, owned by Henry Landry, or Henri. It's believed that Henri made his way to Paincourtville from St. James Parish. He received a land grant in 1797 from the Spanish government. The location was already named Highland, but Henri would rename it Armalise after his youngest daughter. He would stay in the area until his death at the hands of Mother Nature. While on a retreat at a luxurious resort known as the Tradewind Hotel on the magical island of Isla Dernière, a cataclysmic hurricane wiped out the entire island, including old Henri Landry and a gallery of other souls. That event will need a much longer video coming soon. With so many plantations in the area, the elephant in the room must be addressed. And here at Louisiana Dread, we do not shy away from the horrific truths. Slavery was a massive institution in all of the South, and Bayou Lafourche was no exception to this. The information we provide is intended to educate and inform the people of the factual history of the area. Everything is backed up by factual resources that you can find in the description below, and in almost every library here. Also in the description, you'll be able to find links to resources that can help you if you're trying to trace ancestors and provide data for those seeking to make connections between former slaves and former slave owners. For the most part, not many freed slaves in 1870 used the surname of their 1860 slaveholder. According to the 1860 U.S. Census slave schedules for Assumption Parish, there were 8,096 enslaved people living within the boundaries of the parish. Now, this includes 56 slaveholders holding 40 or more slaves. Now, that makes up about 62% of all enslaved. Yes, the vast majority of people along Bayou Lafourche did not own slaves, but were still forced, or brainwashed rather, into fighting a war for those elites that did. And if I'm being honest, some people still proudly wave a flag that symbolizes the oppression of their very ancestors. The majority of Black and white citizens on Bayou Lafourche have more in common than their typical American counterparts, linguistically, culturally, and genetically. The sooner we can realize and appreciate our similarities and differences, the sooner we can make progress. We couldn't bring you this information without your support on Patreon, and we'd like to thank all of those who have contributed and encourage anyone watching this video right now to consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/LouisianaDread. And for more Louisiana history, horror, folklore, and culture, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Crosby, and this is Louisiana Dread Quick History.